What's up, everybody? Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a methylone / 4-fluoroamphetamine / Piracetam trip report for you. The title of this trip report is Sheer Perfection, and was submitted to Erowid in 2013 by the user Mensaman. With all that being said, let our story begin. This was my second attempt at this combination, and only my second experience with methylone, period, as I've never used it without both Piracetam and 4FA. I hadn't used methylone in a couple months and had 4FA in at least several weeks. And my only drug use in the week leading up to this experience was a low dose of 2FMA, 20 milligrams, several days before. The setting was an electronic music show at a classic theater featuring one of my favorite artists, which I was attending with one of my closest friends of 6 years, who was also a fan of the artist, and followed the same dosing scheme I did for Piracetam, 4FA, and methylone. In a word, the setting was perfect, and I had been eagerly awaiting this night for months. My account of the magical evening is as follows. T-2 hours. We preload with 4 grams of Piracetam each. I've used Piracetam daily for about a year, and given my success with the Piracetam plus methylone combo in the past, and Piracetam's non-existent side effect profile, I figured a high preload dose was the best. Around this time, we also each have a few beers en route to the venue. T+0. Upon arriving at our destination around 9 p.m., we both ingest a capsule with 100 milligrams of 4FA and fill the rest with Piracetam, roughly a half a gram. The next hour is spent watching the opening acts, dancing, laughing, and generally enjoying a typical 4FA come-up, which was particularly smooth and gentle this night, most likely due to the aggressive Piracetam preloading. 1 hour in, 10 p.m. now, and the headliner we came to see comes on stage at 11:30. I wanted the transition from the 4FA experience to the methylone one to be seamless. So to avoid any drop-offs in mood/effects, we each ingest a booster capsule of 50 milligrams of 4FA and a half gram of Piracetam. Over the next hour, we have a few negative interactions with one of our ex-lovers who was also at the show, and these definitely dampened our moods. As for a time, we thought we might be spending the evening with this very much undesired individual breathing down our necks. The situation resolved itself just as the opening act came on stage, and we rushed toward the crowd in high spirits. 2 hours and 30 minutes in, my plan all along had been to pop our methylone right as the headliner came on stage, so that we could be peaking throughout most of the experience. So right at 11:30, our mood elated after giddily fleeing the scene of the negative interaction we had just prior, we each ingested a capsule of 220 milligrams methylone, plus another half gram of Piracetam. 2 hours and 45 minutes in, 15 minutes after ingesting the methylone, my friend and I turned to each other almost simultaneously with an, "Oh shit, this is coming on hard and fast" look on our faces. And coming on hard it was. Just 15 to 20 minutes in, I felt an elevated heartbeat, tingling hands and head, shivers, and a general feeling of extreme anticipation, like on a roller coaster just before you come over the top of a hill and right before you plunge. The music is greatly enhanced, and the bass from the funky electronic tunes are reverberating throughout my entire body, shaking me to the core. 3 hours to 4 hours in, around 30 minutes into the Methylone, I reached the peak of my experience, which involved general euphoria, a feeling of connectedness with everyone around me, intense eye wiggles and visual distortion, elevated body temperature, and sound enhancement to the point that I felt my brain couldn't process all the incoming sounds, and I was overwhelmed by all the sensory input. Sheer eargasm. The intense strobe lights and light show were similarly overwhelming, and throughout this portion of the experience I found myself dancing with closed eyes and being surprised at the realization that my eyes were closed, because even through my eyelids, the visual array was stunning. Every note was perfect. Every flash and laser left me breathless, and every stranger dancing around me was connected in this experience. I had some amazing interactions with people, no matter how brief, that left me in even higher spirits than I thought possible. 4 hours to 5 hours in. At this point, I gained some stability that the eye-wiggling peak had robbed me of, and we retreated a little further back in the crowd to get some air, as we were both sweating pretty heavily. Mood still euphoric, some sensory enhancement still present, especially physical touch. Jaw tension significant here, and I chomped at the same piece of gum for at least an hour. Somewhere around 4 hours and 30 minutes in, I caught the eye of an attractive young female dancing in the crowd, and felt drawn to her, so I approached her, said a few things, and we began dancing together. This was a whole new experience, and the sensations from her warm body pressed against mine, and her hands running along my face and neck were truly electric. We'd exchanged only a few words, but I felt a strong connection with her, and as we traded sexually charged glances, I felt as if I knew exactly who she was, what she was feeling, what she wanted, and exactly how to give her that. This part of the experience was not the most intense, is by far my favorite memory of the evening. 5 hours to 7 hours in, the show comes to an end. I exchange phone numbers with my dance partner, and after a passionate kiss goodbye, we part ways. I find my friend, who similarly found love on the dance floor, and we journey home. The rest of the experience is marked by an elevated mood, though not euphoria, and significant residual stimulation, along with continued jaw tension. Sleep comes with relative ease at around 7 hours in, only 3.5 hours after ingesting the methylone, though we both expended so much energy dancing throughout the night that I'm sure our physical exhaustion aided our sleep. The next morning I awoke with a glowing heart, my mind still reliving the events of the night before. I was so joyful and grateful that my experience had been so perfect in every way that my afterglow lingered for the rest of the day, and no negative effects were felt at all. In retrospect, this experience cemented my faith in the Piracetam plus Methylone combination. I have never had methylone without Piracetam, and after this magical evening, I never intend to. In the future, I will probably stick to 1 dose of 4-FA to minimize the jaw tension my friend and I both felt throughout the night. 4-FA was only included this time to enhance the first couple hours of the concert, while saving the methylone experience for the headlining act. In a setting where I only need or want a 2 to 3 hour long experience, I would likely eliminate the 4-FA altogether to further relieve the jaw tension. Overall, Piracetam plus Methylone is an A+ for me. Alright, everybody. That is the end of our story. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out the other videos and playlists on my channel. And I will see you in the next one, fam. Deuces.